episode 92. You are our 92nd episode. It's an honor, sir. We are happy.
Thanks for having me, man. And congratulations on 92 episodes. It's quite a feat.
It kept a lot of us going through the pandemic. Gave us a little something to do. How have you been in the last year? I know that's a loaded question, but how has everything that's been happening in life affected your creativity, your process, or has it made any impact, or is it still the same?
Oh, dude, I've been all fucked up in the game. Straight up, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for nobody because I know there's a lot of people going through it. So I've been up and down. I've had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. Thankfully, now I'm in a better place. I'm in a great musical place. But there was a point during the pandemic where I couldn't find my mojo, and I was like, is this it? Is it a wrap? Am I going to just become a crazy cat guy and quit music and But, it's totally normal to all creatives or anyone in general. This last year and a half is intense. So even regular problems are intensified just because of the circumstances. So everybody cut yourself, give yourself some slack. Shit'll get better. It's just going to take some time. But yeah, thanks for asking. I'm doing great now.
Great. Did you find that there was a certain practice that helped you kind of get back into the swing of things, or did you just have to let it happen naturally?
What I had to do is acknowledge it was happening and be okay with it and just step the fuck away and do other shit. Don't do anything music related. Just stop and wait till it came back and it became fun. Because the problem for me is that, there's some people that do it as a hobby, but for me it's a job. So it's sometimes I feel if I'm not doing it, I'm slacking at my job.
Right.
But it's mixed with my love. So the best music is driven by me being, enjoying myself and not feeling like I have to do it, but it's my job. So sometimes I'm like, you got to do it. So it's a very interesting line, but I think I found a good balance in the last couple months. So
that's great. That's awesome. Well, we're thrilled to have you. If you guys have questions for Marco Polo, we might have some time at the end. So drop them in that little question bubble at the bottom of the screen. And we might, if we have time, we'll get into some Q&A. But that's not what we're here to do. You can email Marco Polo. You can visit marcopolobeats.com if you want to send him a question. Tonight, we're getting into our trivia game. So how you feeling? We've had a lot of people. I want to get you prepared, and not prepared that this is going to be crazy, but I've had some legends slide into the DM.
No, I saw, man. I saw.
And they get nervous, but I want to let you know that you're not in this alone. If you choose to, you can definitely use the chat. We've had people rely on the chat.
I might use the chat. Yeah, I don't care. My ego's not like that. If I need help, I'll ask. It's all good. Let's see what happens.
Marco Polo with the positivity. He's got wise words for creativity. He's dismantling the construct of ego and the need to sort of I'll do it all myself. Fuck that. He's a man of the people.
Nah, man. Sometimes you gotta ask for help. You just do it. Fuck it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we're gonna hop into our first round then. And guys, again, bear with me, and I'm telling you to bear with me as well. We're kind of running a little ad hoc version of the game here because of the update, but I think this is gonna work. Our first round is called "The Choice Is Yours." Oh, we got a cat! Holy shit!
It was bound to happen. This is Cola. She's definitely not feeling me talking to anybody but her at all times. So here we go.
Cola is her name?
Her name is Cola, like Coca-Cola.
Got it. So a big fan of the soft drink then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, apparently. I didn't name her, but, we kept it. We thought it was cool. So.
Well, if you're trying to gain brownie points right now by throwing a cat in, I'm definitely going to give you 10 extra points because I'm a music-making cat man myself. So
we're a special breed.
We are. Can't do nothing with us. All right. Well, Cola and Marco Polo are in the house, and they're going to be hopping into this. So, guys, if you want to help Marco Polo, you can drop those answers in the chat. And our first round is called "The Choice Is Yours." This is our general multiple choice round. Let's get into it. The first question is, all right, here we go. This rapper co-authored a book called "Bury Me with the Low On," documenting the history of a group of Brooklyn kids who accumulated as much Polo Ralph Lauren as possible in the 90s. Was it Keith Murray, Kanye West, Raekwon, or Thurston Howell III?
I'm going to go with D, Thurston Howell III.
He's going D. Thurston Howell, let's see if he's correct, folks.
A strong arm with lyrics.
He is absolutely correct. You know, we had to throw in a little bit of a name reference to you, and the swimming thing would have been too easy, you know, or the Explorer.
No, it's all good. You know what's funny about that? Shouts to Thurston Howe is when I first moved to New York, rocking the Marco Polo name, I had some of the low-life step to me and show me love and be like, you know, you're cool. We good with you. I was like, okay, thank God.
That wasn't because normally when you hear a crew of people stepped to me, it normally isn't to show love. It's like, you know, they step to me and it's usually a problem. So that's good.
Yep.
I just realized I do need to rep my cat allegiance right here. So
you're on another level, bro. I don't even have a cat shirt, but I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put Cola on the shirt.
I'll hook you up. I have some resources. Yeah. Oh, Cola in the building.
Yep.
Man, this is going to derail into just us talking about cats, and that's fine. You got to let it go where it goes. All right, we're going to move into our next question. Question number 2. Here we go.
Okay.
Question number 2. There have been 3 incarnations of hip-hop supergroup Crooklyn Dodgers. Which of these producers has not produced one of their songs? Is it DJ Premier, Large Professor, Ninth Wonder, or Q-Tip? Which of these producers has not done an installment of Crooklyn Dodgers?
This is messing me up. Is there not just 2 Crooklyn songs? What the hell?
There was it is official. It was titled as such. There is a third.
That's so if there was a third one, it was probably super new, which would lead me to believe that Ninth did it, because I don't remember Large doing a Crooklyn, and Ace is my dude, and we would perform that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Large has not produced one of those. Large
All
Professor
right.
B.
I like the way that you broke it down. You know, you definitely kind of like walked us through it. We're gonna listen a little bit. We'll do little snippets.
I don't even know what the third joint is. I know the first 2. You know.
All right. So first of all, we had the original, which is
that's Q-Tip.
Q-Tip, the original Crooklyn Dodgers.
And Primo did number 2, Return to Crooklyn Dodgers.
Finally, the third was produced by none other than Ninth Wonder. So you are correct. Large Professor did not do a Crooklyn Dodgers.
Okay.
You mentioned Masta Ace, obviously. Masta Ace has spoken very highly of you. He's a former guest on the show. I've had him on my other podcast. And you guys put out an entire project together. After working with each other on a few other Lucy's, you guys, what was it, 2018? 2019?
We put out a Brooklyn Story in 2018, I believe, yes, and it was long overdue after, you know, he did a joint with me called Nostalgia on Port Authority, which is really my claim to underground fame is that joint in that video. Then I started touring with him. We just over time became cool, and you know, he suggested the idea we do an album, and of course, it was like a dream come true for me. So there you have it. So thank you, Ace, for speaking highly of me. We've become, besides music, brothers, so it's a blessing to work with him.
Did you feel, or do you feel like you've sort of gotten past the point? I assume that you like held him in like pretty high reverence prior to. Of
course. Yes, absolutely. Now, I came into rap a little later than everyone else, so while I know him from the Symphony and the earlier albums, Take a Look Around and Slaughterhouse, Disposable Arts is my jam. That's my album. That's my favorite Ace album. So yeah, I caught him in the studio like a little bit after that record while he was working on A Long Hot Summer at the Cutting Room, and that's when we started working. So very dope.
Was that when you were interning at the Cutting Room, right?
That is correct. Yep, Manhattan.
I feel like that must have been a lot of a great entry point for you for a lot of artists. Probably encountered a bunch of people.
That was the beginning of everything. That's where I met Pumpkinhead. That's where I met Ace. That's where I met Kweli. A lot of people, man. That was my entrance to the rap game. It was fierce, man. I was assistant engineering and interning and doing a lot of grunt work before I actually got to, you know, start giving away beats and stuff. So that was an intense experience. My introduction to New York was a 2-month-long session with Benzino from The Source. He booked out both rooms, and that was my like welcome to rap life in New York, and it made me a man. That's all I can say.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Save it for the book. Save it for the book.
Shit.
All right, cool. We're going to move on to our third question in the round. Doing great so far, Marco Polo. The third question is, Pharoahe Monch's hip-hop rock band, 13, features producer Daru Jones, who has toured and recorded with this rock band frontman. Is it Beck, Jack White, Jack Black, or Jeff Beck?
I like how you have all the Jacks and J's. It's B. It's Jack White from the White Stripes.
He knows it. He's confident about it. And guess what, folks? He is absolutely correct.
Yeah, and shouts to Daru Jones. He's super dope.
Daru's amazing. Daru's like, you know, an incredible drummer. Definitely like a very post-Dilla, you know, like it's really bringing that hip-hop feel to live instruments. He's a legend.
Man. And then for him to be crushing it on Saturday Night Live with Jack White, I remember that was a couple months ago, I think, or maybe 3 months ago. He fucking destroyed it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Now he's in that band with Pharoahe Monch, the 13. Have you, I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's a really dope project. You know, Pharoahe is one of the
I did a joint on there.
You did, yeah. No, I was talking to everybody else. Like I know you've heard it, but you've worked with Pharoahe on a few things. You've worked with him on that. You've worked with him on, I believe, was it his PTSD album? Did you have a joint on there?
I had 3 joints on PTSD, and I also had one on War, or We Are Renegades. That was the first time I worked with him, and then he did something for my Port Authority 2 album. I got an Organized Confusion joint with him and Prince Poe. First one, shit, I think that's the only one in a minute. And then, yeah, PTSD, we really locked in, and he gave me one of my greatest rap moments ever on a song called Rapid Eye Movement, which was him and Black Thought. And I could stop producing today and just be happy that I produced a song with Pharoahe and Black Thought, two of arguably, not even arguably, two of the greatest lyricists MCs ever. So thank you, Pharoahe.
No argument. No. Anybody who tries to argue with you on that, you need to end the argument and just walk away from it.
There's no arguing. That's a fact. There's some things are debatable, and then other things are facts. Those two being two of the best of all time are facts. Period. So,
you have a few joints, obviously. We just ran them under your belt with Pharoahe. Do you, in your experience, and you've been doing this for a while, and you know, we as producers, we know like sometimes we make beats and it's like, yo, this is the Pharoahe beat. Like Pharaoh's gonna go like crazy on this. Do you find that he has flocked towards the beats that you had in mind for him, or have you been surprised sometimes by the beats that he has picked? Because like we sometimes find that, you know, artists can like sometimes pick the odd ones, but I'm curious to know about a guy like Monch, you know, like what that sort of synergy was like.
Yeah, no, he definitely super picky and has a sound. But yeah, no, he definitely, I think one of the things for producers that we have to let go of sometimes is what we think might not always be the case. So there's certain MCs that really make a honest effort to curate what I send them. And then there's others where I'm not as stressed because it's like, it's Pharoahe. So like, I have no worries that whatever he does with a beat, he's going to do it justice and he's going to make it work. So I'll send him anything I think is dope. He did surprise me with this joint on the 13 album called Oxygen, because that was a very experimental idea I made from scratch, and it was a little left field and weird. It didn't originally even have drums, and I sent it to him and he loved it, and then it became kind of like a whole work in progress. So, but that was dope. So, you know, he can take some of my left field stuff I couldn't give to other people and make something really interesting, which is great. So,
yeah, particularly on a project like that is kind of left field and experimental that he's doing. So that is totally within that wheelhouse for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, cool. We're going to move into our final question of the first round. And the question is, as a child, this Canadian artist had one of their first shows performing at an event celebrating Nelson Mandela's visit to Toronto in 1990? Was it Chaos, Estero, Cardinal Official, or Socrates?
Oh my God, this is embarrassing because I am Canadian and I should know this, but I absolutely do not. And so now I gotta, oh, who would it be? As a child, I wanted there first.
The year was 1990. You know, we had to dig into Canadian crates a little bit.
No, that's totally cool. And of course, this is the one that's going to take me. Skiz is like, you got to know this. I'm so embarrassed that I don't know this. Estero, I would not think it was Estero. That would be a little random. But give me a second here.
Yeah.
You see, Lainey, you think it's Cardi? Why do you think it's Cardi? I'm eliminating Estero. I'm eliminating Estero.
Okay. I've also, in the history of the show, we've never seen somebody sort of debate with their lifeline live. You're like, give me more.
Well, you said I could ask the people, right? But the people aren't giving me confident answers in the comments here. Cardi, Socks, Chaos. I'm taking Chaos out of it.
Okay, so we've eliminated Estero. We've eliminated Chaos.
Socks or Cardi? I'm going with Cardi. With Cardi Bacardi. My dude Cardi. Cardinal. C.
He's going Cardi. He's consulted. He's ran through his reasoning. He's debated with his lifeline a little bit. Let's see what the answer is. The answer was Cardinal Official.
I'm not gonna lie to the internet. My man Torae said it. I don't even know why he just typed it, but I felt his confidence, and so Torae helped me on that one. So thank you, Tor.
We're giving shouts to Torae, former guest on the show. He did quite well as well when he was on, so he's a good guy to take advice from.
Yes, I trusted him. I felt like I could just tell by how he typed it that he knew. So thank you, Tor. You saved me on that one.
Keystroke, very strong. could definitely deduce that. You mentioned, and as we all know, that's kind of one of the headlines of you, because we always want to know where artists are from. You hail from Canada. Canada's kind of killing it right now, right? Like, I think I think they've sort of been killing it. No, I don't know. You're like shrugging it off, maybe?
No, I'm shrugging because we've always been killing it. You know, it just took a Drake and a Weekend for people to really notice. You know what I'm saying? But shouts to all the OGs in that last category: Estero, Chaos, Socks, Cardinal. Even before that, Maestro, Mishi Me. But we've always had an amazing music scene in general, hip hop scene. But right now, specifically, what I want to put shine on about Canada and Toronto specifically is the producer scene. The producers coming out of from my hometown, bananas, you know, like it goes back to Socks and Mr. Attic and Moss and DJ Sirius until present. You got someone like Frank Dukes, who went to my high school, who took over urban music. And now you got new guys like the Count. Shouts to the Count. Just got put on.
Count. Yo, the Count is free.
You know, and he's really doing interesting stuff. And there's just so many people from Toronto on the beat side of things. So yeah, man, that's my hometown. I'm proud. I mean, I've been here for 20 years, but that's my heart forever, right? So
absolutely. Yeah, it's been just even you listing all those. You know, obviously, yes, Drake and The Weeknd are big marquee names playing, you know, the Super Bowl. But you look at that last question, you look at all of the producers, all the behind the scenes people. Boy Wonder, you know, like
shouts to Doc too, who did Estero's first album, who's amazing and did stuff with The Weeknd.
Yep.
So yeah, I know I missed a lot of people, but those are people that are, you know, important to me, especially the first ones, because they kind of took me under their wing, took me digging. So
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, shout out DJ Skiz as well in the chat. DJ Skiz is another guy who's former
DJ Skiz. That's
Skiz.
My brethren.
All right, well, great job on the first round. We're going to move into our second round, and the second round is called Picasso, baby. So in this round, I'm going to show you a small little cropped piece of an album cover, and you have to identify what the album is by the little piece of it that you see. So we've tested your general knowledge. Now we're going to test those eyes. This is like a
Eyes
physical
are not
exam.
good. Okay, let's
Okay.
go.
All right. Cool. Here we go. First question. Here we go. The album in question. Is it Talib Kweli's Eardrum, Jake One, White Van Music, Torae, Daily Conversation, or Big Sean, I Decided?
Okay, it's not Jake. It's not Torae. I don't know much about Big Sean, so this is going to be... Does that look like Kweli Eardrum? Wait, think about what the Kweli... I'm actually going to go with... It's either Kweli or Big Sean. That's what we're... Tor says Kweli. Is that the Eardrum cover? It might be, because I'm thinking Quality, and that was a different cover. Yeah, I'm going with Talib. I'm going with Eardrum.
He's going Eardrum. Let's see if he's right, folks. There we go. Woo. Kweli is another guy who you've worked with a bunch. What has that relationship been like?
It's been cool. I started working around him as an intern, so I don't think he looked at me per se as a collaborative fellow artist in the beginning. So I had to like leave the studio world and start coming up as a producer, and then we connected, and then it was all love. He did a joint called Guru, which is a beautiful song in my catalog dedicated to Guru. Primo does the scratches, and then I did a joint with him and Sean Price, rest in peace, called Pelucas. I did a joint with him in the Locks called 9.5. Yeah, man, we've been working over the years, and it's dope for me because I grew up listening to stuff like, especially Reflection Eternal and Black Star. So it's still, when I think about it, crazy that I've had these opportunities. So yeah.
Do you think that we're gonna get that Black Star album? It's been talked about so long, it's almost become like the detox of underground hip hop. What's your take on that?
I mean, I would have to guess that the reason it's not happening is because Mos Def's a very busy guy. Because I'm sure Kweli's, I guarantee you, it's probably recorded or mostly recorded, but I think it'll come out. Yeah, but don't hold your breath for a release date.
Yeah, that's wise words. Absolutely. All right, we're gonna move on to the second question. We got Cola check in. Cola, how you doing? How you feeling?
Cola, emotionless cat.
All right. This album cover, is it Black Alicious, The Craft, Jedi Mind Tricks, Legacy of Blood, Common, Finding Forever, or Freeway, Free at Last?
See, Common, Finding Forever. Could tell by the hippie moon.
Shout out to the hippie moons. He's got a good eye, folks. He said he wasn't too sure, and he's doing a good job thus far.
Yay.
What gun to your head, favorite Common album?
Great question. Was it with the brown cover where he's wearing like the hat as a kid? That was One Day It All Makes Sense. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, the brown cover is One Day It All Makes Sense.
It's a toss up between that and like Water for Chocolate, if I had to. And everyone's gonna pick the joint he did with Kanye, but that was dope. But the other two mean way more to me. So I would go One Day It'll All Make Sense. That has Hungry on it, I think. Invitation. Dun, dun. Yeah, that's I'm gonna go with that. That one has more sentimental value to me. So there it is.
Yeah, he's got a lot of great albums in his catalog, and you can often tell by people's choices where they were and what stage in their life they were at, because a lot of people swear by the Kanye albums, and I never thought that they were whack by any means.
No, that's number 4 to me. Not the first 3, because so Resurrection, One Day It'll All Make Sense, like Water for Chocolate, those, I might even take Electric Circus over the Kanye album. So yeah, those, and that's just because they're more sentimental to that time in my life. I think it's all relevant to, when an album hits you. It's not about what's better or worse. It's like those have memories attached to my life. So I would pick those.
Absolutely. And we're not here shitting on anybody. If B is your favorite, if Finding Forever is your favorite.
They're just called opinions. We can all be friends at the end of the day. It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. All right, we're going to move into the last question in our second round. And that is, what album cover is this? Is it Little Brothers, Get Back, EPMD, Strictly Business, Casual, He Think He Raw, or Sky Zoo, The Salvation?
Oh my God. It's not EPMD. It's not. I might need help from the peoples. Where's Tor at? Tor, where you at? You still here?
You guys are really doing the double barrel thing tonight.
Is it little brother? Huh. It's so. I'm gonna take the help from the peoples here. I'm gonna go with little brother, eh?
Little brother.
Great album.
Hey, I wasn't even going to go there, but you said it first. That is a great album. I actually feel I'm a huge Little Brother fan, and I kind of feel like that one does not get its just due. And I think a lot of people sort of were feeling away because it was their first, post Ninth Wonder album. It's a really fucking good album. They're rapping their ass off.
I know it's good because I always used to check for it, and they recently just got it up on digital platforms. But I think for a hot minute it was not on there for whatever industry bullshit. But story of our lives with our favorite artists in the underground. There's so many people that we champion that I'll scratch my head why they're not, why certain albums or certain artists. Shouts to Fonte and Pooh and Ninth Wonder. But yeah, that's a great album.
Yeah, I mean, and the production lineup on that is great. You had like all the Illmind joints, Mr. Porter, High Tech. Yep, exactly.
Crisis is on there.
Yeah, that's and now that, again, to the crowd, to the audience, it's on streaming. So if you've overlooked it or maybe you haven't heard it in a long time, definitely check it out. That is such a good album. I can't recommend it. It's got the Cola recommendation.
Cola's into the little brother.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just feel like she's more interesting than me.
It's fine. We can split. If she had her own phone, we can now do that on Instagram, or we can bring in a third person. So maybe
they just added a multiple group chat to Instagram. That's right.
That is the reason. That is ironically the reason why we're not going to do this on here anymore, because while it is great to be able to bring more people in, we used to be able to actually bring the artwork in. So rather than me pointing it at a screen, you kind of have to squint at it. Like, image was actually in the feed. So I think that they sacrificed that to give us the multi-people. I'm in my feelings about it a bit, but it is cool to be able to have multiple people on here. So I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
But you are the last guest. I told you before we hopped on live. You're the last guest of the old way.
Well, thank you for having me, man. So far, the people saved me, man. There was a couple I could have went down in flames. So thanks to the people in the comments.
Shout out to the people. Absolutely. All right, we're going to move into our third round, and I think you're going to like this one because you are a producer. And the third round is called Digging in the Crate.
My man still digging in the crate. Yeah, I'm still digging in the crate.
So in this round, it's all about samples. I'm going to provide you with a sample, and you have to answer a question about it. So this is kind of up your wheelhouse and your.
I would hope so. Let's do it.
Yeah, but yeah, all right. We're gonna get into it. So here we go. The first question: the song "Sore Losers" from Mers's album "The End of the Beginning" features a vocal sample from this hip hop group. So I'm gonna play you the Mers song. You tell me which hip hop group is being sampled in it. Here we go.
So much losers. Ah! So much losers. So much losers. So much losers. This fucking on.
Is it The Far Side, Digital Underground, Souls of Mischief, or De La Soul? I'll play it one more time.
So much losers. Ah! So much losers. So much losers. So much losers.
That's Souls of Mischief. Unless my ears are failing me. I'm not even familiar with that song, to be honest, but it sounds like Souls.
So much losers.
Souls of Mischief is correct. The Soul song is from their first album, 93 Till Infinity. That's When You Lost. And the Mers song is from his first Def Jux album, and it was produced by RJD to that song. And yeah, we're just cutting up the Soul sample. Were you how much were you into like West Coast underground stuff? Like what's your relationship with that? Obviously from Toronto, made a lot of waves and call New York your home now. What's your relationship with the West Coast been like?
I love West Coast hip hop. Besides the classics, like going super way back, you know, I would say that my early connection to West Coast was like Dilated Peoples, Planet Asia, Loop Pack, Madlib, Peanut Butter Wolf, Encore, Alcoholics, like that's my Beat Junkies, like those. That's my, yeah, that was a big part of me discovering underground hip hop music was listening to a lot of that stuff. So, and of course, Souls and Hyro, and you know, so yeah.
Torae says that our first show on tour was with Souls.
Was it? Fuck, I'm old, man, because I don't even remember that.
I mean, that would have been what, like 15 years ago, right?
Yeah, I think we were at like a big ass rave or something. Why do I feel like it was some crazy event? It's been a minute, man. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just was thinking, like, if you didn't know the answer, we have the ability now that Torae could join us on the live, and he could.
No,
like,
you keep him in the chat. I'm trying to,
I'm trying to, you know, connect things here. But Torae, I'm sorry you're not on the list.
Although Torae saved me a few times already. Thanks, Tor.
He's like, appreciate it, but stay the fuck out. This is my episode.
This is my. Nah, okay. It's all love.
Not mad at it. We're gonna move on to question number 2.
Okay.
This is about this sample, Tama by Tonto's Expanding Headband, amazing name for a band, was sampled by Dilla on this Busta Rhymes album. I will play you the Tonto's Expanding Headband song sample, and you tell me which Busta Rhymes album Dilla sampled this for.
Oh, I know that song. Turn Me Up. Is this Turn Me Up some? Yeah, that's Turn Me Up some.
So the song, you know, but what album is it from?
Yeah, it's between Genesis and Anarchy, and oh fuck, I want to say Anarchy. Was it Anarchy or Genesis?
It's a little tricky question here.
It Ain't Safe No More. These are album titles from Busta, right? It Ain't Safe No More.
These are all Busta albums. So
it's Anarchy. I'm going Anarchy, man. If I fail, that's just my guts telling me. That's the red cover. Anarchy right. D.
He's going Anarchy. The song is Turn Me Up Some, and it is from It Ain't Safe
What's going on? You're over there.
Look, we had to pull out the big guns for you, Marco Polo. Like, and you had it there, but yeah, you know, some of those Busta albums, they can get a little entertaining.
He got a lot of albums, man. He got a lot of albums, and some of those albums I only remember because of some of the Dilla joints. So it's okay, man. I saw people saying the right answer, but I wanted to at least make an effort, and I failed, and that's okay. What are you gonna do?
Well, the thing is, too, the chat can sometimes be unreliable. We have a very confident chat, but they're not always 100%.
I feel like Torae is literally sitting in front of Google right now trying to help me, so I feel like anything he says is right. So,
obviously, Jake Dilla, huge influence. This is another gun to your head question. Top 3 Dilla joints. Favorite Dilla joints.
Oh, that's impossible.
Top 3 right now.
Okay, Fat Cat. Don't Nobody Care About Us. I mean, I just want to say the whole entire Fantastic Volume 2, that album was so groundbreaking for everybody.
We will accept that as an answer. That is acceptable.
He got so many remixes too that were fire. I love that remix he did for Lucy Pearl. I can't find a good copy of.
Yeah, we've all got that fuzzy MP3 version. You know?
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
He's done some great remixes for Busta too. The early, like, first album stuff, the Woo-Ha remixes were nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say Stakes is High too. That'll be third. So I picked a whole album in 2 joints. I mean, he is so, to this day, blows my mind, the things he was doing and people still trying to figure it out. And I hear his influence in hip hop production the most with people. I mean, people literally say it all the time. But he's just, man, I think about it every day if he was alive, like where he would be at with his style.
There's no way to even anticipate it because he changed his style so much that like you can't even. I don't think that it's possible to really pin it down.
And I always used to get confused and a little upset, like fanboy, when he changed it up because I didn't understand it, and then my ass would catch up with it and be like, "This motherfucker's like 2 steps ahead." Like I can't, and that's what I, as a producer, you yearn to be like on the next wave before people are on it, just because it's in your soul. And like he had that, and he's, God bless him, man. He influences me every day. I felt like I lost a family member when he passed away. So shouts to Dilla.
Shouts to Dilla. Sure, we hear at the questions and Marco Polo endorse a little known producer named Jay Dilla. You guys might want to check him out.
New guy on the scene.
If you like the raps and the beats, you're gonna love him. He's just great. Evoke says Flying Lotus is like what Dilla could have been doing musically if he was here. I mean, yes, you could make that, but because of Dilla's trajectory, he might have made another crazy left turn and like done something that like isn't even in the realm of a Flying Lotus. And I love Flying Lotus. Flying Lotus is one of my favorite living producers.
Yeah, I'm not familiar enough about Flying Lotus to really dig into that question. I definitely like some of his stuff, but yeah, I would consider Flying Lotus a little more abstract at times than Dilla. Based on what I heard, so
that's
the emotions in me want to automatically be like, nobody sounds like Dilla ever and will, but I'm not, because I don't. I have to listen to Homeboy's music top to bottom, and I haven't. So
yeah, no, for sure. All right, we're gonna move into the last question of the sample round. Now this one is an elimination question. The Emotions, I Like It, has been sampled by all of these artists except for one of them. So I will play you the Emotions joint, and you tell me who has not sampled this song.
Don't be afraid to call my name.
I'll play it again. Is it Gravediggers, Arsonists, EPMD, or Alcoholics?
I mean, that's been sampled by
a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's tricky because Arsonist is technically out of all those groups would be the newest one, even though they're not new, but out of that batch.
Sure.
That's what my gut is telling me, but that could also be the wrench in this question.
I'll play it one more time.
What's the comment saying here?
Comments, help them out. Do any of them stick out to you as like, oh, I definitely know that this group sampled?
Gravediggers and EPMD.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with D, Alcoholics.
He's going to Alcoholics, so we're gonna actually go and listen to some of these here. So first, we have.
I suggest you keep it distance. My death goes inevitable. It's susceptible to
Arsonists.
Now I'm about to wreck shop as the man.
EPMD. And then Gravediggers, which means you are correct that Alcoholics did not sample the joint.
I gotta shout out Skiz for that one, straight up. Thank you, Skiz.
Skiz came through.
That's what homies do. They got your back.
As a producer, do you tend to shy away, or do you ever sort of lean into using a sample that you know that somebody else has flipped? Like, what's your take on doing that?
I have no rules. I'll use something that somebody used, but if I do it, it's got to be in a new way and creative and not the same way. And sometimes I'll run across a sample someone used and I'm like too emotionally attached to the original song, and I'll be like, no one should ever touch that. Right. So I have rules and I don't have rules. It's all about my vibe. When I was younger, I definitely cared less, but now sometimes I'm just like, if I don't envision how I would do it in a super dope way to like make it new, I'll stay away from it, but I will. And the answer to that question is I will mess with samples people used.
So your rule is that you sometimes have rules. Sometimes.
Yes. Absolutely. The most confusing answer ever. I apologize, but that's just what it is.
Can we get a check-in from Cola really quick? Is she still in the building?
Cola's now scratching her little bed.
Amazing. That looks like one of the photos that you have for your press. It looks like it's the same exact like setup.
So that's my old cat, Misha. Rest in peace.
But same records in the background?
Same records in the background.
There you go. The cats.
Cats and Crates. You go check us out on IG, Cats and Crates. It's a legitimate page that I started because I'm a crazy cat person now. So,
Marco, I know you're saying these things and maybe feeling a little sheepish. I have to tell you, you're not going to find somebody who's into crates and cats as your boy, other than your boy. So this
you got to send me some. So the theme of that page for those that care is we post pictures of cats with vinyl, and it turned into a thing. And people started sending me pictures of their cats with vinyl from all over the world, and I share them. So anybody out there, please send us some pictures of vinyl and your cat. As long as those two things are in the picture, we will post it.
Incredible. Now I feel like an asshole for not letting my cat in. I usually shut him out when I do these because he, will be crawling all over the place. You're making me look bad right now, Marco. Cats aside, we have now reached the final round, and the final round is called Time's Up. So this is what happens in this round. You will have 90 seconds to answer 5 questions, non-multiple choice, in the category of your choosing. And these are tonight's categories. The year was 1992. Since you are episode 92, that is one of the categories. Paying homage to Masta Ace. After death, the posthumous B.I.G. Those are all questions about Biggie's music after his death.
Okay. Those are three options right there?
Those are your 3 options, so you get to pick.
Oh, man. The shit about Ace is that I can't pick that and then fail because that's just like the worst. Yeah. 1992 was not even a year, like that's before my time, before I really got into it.
Sure.
I just watched the Biggie documentary. I wonder if that'll help me.
It might help you.
With Biggie questions. Let's go with Biggie. And shouts to Ace. I just don't even want to, even though I probably would crush the Ace one, I'm going to go with the Biggie.
You would almost certainly crush the Ace one, but on the off chance that maybe you're having an off night, maybe you like...
I want no parts of that. So we're going with Biggie.
We at the questions don't want to ruin the relationship that's already there. So like,
Ace would never care anyways, but yeah, let's go with Biggie.
Okay, so we're going with Biggie. What did you think of the what did you think of the documentary, by the way?
I thought it was well done. I mean, a lot of footage that I've never seen. I thought it was well done, man. I thought it was a good documentary. I have no real gripes about it. I thought it was entertaining. Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, and like so much footage. I'm always amazed by these things. Like I was thinking this when I watched the Wu-Tang documentary. I was thinking this like, I just love that somebody had a camcorder in the 90s and was just filming everything. Like, shout out to them.
Yeah, and everyone always gets annoyed with that dude. And now that dude like literally saved the documentary. So
super annoyed. If somebody comes through like, oh, I want to film everything, like super annoyed. But if you're going to be around famous rappers, a great move.
And also, I'm 10 blocks from his crib, so it's very cool for me being in Fort Greene because that's where I live, Clinton Hills. And he, like, they say his Bed-Stuy, his block, but that shit is Clinton Hills. You know,
Sure.
it just wasn't.
Yeah.
But he's super close. So the vet that I take my cat to is literally right there on Fulton, where it used to be super live, and now it's all gentrified and shit. So, yeah.
Things done changed, as he once prophesied.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. Again, I'm going to review the rules. You'll have 90 seconds. These are not multiple choice. If you don't know the answer, you can say pass, and we'll go back to it. But if you answer incorrectly, that question is burnt. It's done. So you got to be careful with how you...
Like,
you know,
done like it's over, or like...
No, just you won't be able to re-answer it. You only get one answer per...
How many questions are in this round in 90
Five
seconds?
questions. 5 questions.
Rapid fire. Okay.
And again, you can use the chat. Like, the chat is there, but again, there might be a little lag, and they're not always correct.
I already feel disappointed because I got one wrong, and like I know how many people went perfect out of 92 episodes.
3 in the history of the show.
Really?
We'll get into that later. We'll get into that. I don't want you to worry about.
Okay, so I don't have to feel so bad. All right, cool.
No, don't ever feel bad. You're fucking Marco Polo. So I have OC's times up here, and it is time to 90 seconds. So when we stop hearing 90 seconds of time's up, your time will be out.
Okay.
I can tell that you were tickled by that a little bit. It's a little clever, right? Like,
well done. I like all these connections. It's good.
Thank you. We try. So 90 seconds on the clock. He's going for the posthumous BIG. Here we go. I'm just loading it up. I'm not trying to be dramatic here.
No, it's all good.
All right, here we go. Marco Polo, 90 seconds. Let's go. A Biggie verse appeared on this compilation released by Raucous Records.
Sound bombing. Is it sound bombing?
It is not sound bombing. We're going to move on. This film music video director cast all children in this video for this Biggie song. What was the Biggie song that cast all children?
Oh, when they're all playing him because he passed was off the second album. What's the name of that song? Wasn't a fan of that song. Pass.
We're gonna pass. All right. What was the name of the 2017 duets album Faith Evans released with Biggie?
Oh man, this is a wrap for me.
All right, we're gonna pass on that. All right. Name 5 artists who appeared on the Born Again album in 1999.
Okay, Method Man, Redman. Can I say DJ Premier on production, or does it have to be artist?
Sure, we'll count that.
I'm gonna say P. Diddy, of course.
Yep.
And Eminem.
Eminem is correct. Okay. Biggie's son CJ Wallace appears on a remix of this classic Biggie song from the Notorious soundtrack. His son.
Pass.
Okay.
Let's go back to the...
I'm going to give you one more shot because you were kind of leaning into it. What was the name of the song that cast all children?
Sky's the Limit. The people help me with that one.
Sky's the Limit is correct. All right. So here we go. These are the ones that you got wrong, and then we'll get into your score. Again, I want to reiterate: you're Marco Polo. You're not leaving your feeling. You're not leaving your feeling fucked up today.
Yeah, I guess I'm not the Biggie fan I thought I was, but that's okay.
The speed round fucks people up sometimes. So his son CJ Wallace appeared on a remix of One More Chance on the Notorious soundtrack.
Okay.
He was rapping his dad's lyrics. Sky's the Limit, you got that right. The Faith Evans album was called The King and I, 2017. You know, I'm not going to fault you for not knowing about this album that probably nobody has heard more than once, but it's the final round. It's the final round. And then you got all of the guests who were on Born Again. There was like 30 guests, so you were able to identify 5. The Raucous Records album was Lyricist Lounge 2. It opened with a live track, a recording of Biggie. It was like the live acapella, or I don't know if it was.
Yeah, I know that from the club. Yep, over a break beat or something. I think I know what that is. Yeah. Oh, shit.
So again, we're not feeling bad about this, but I've totaled up your score, and I want you to know that no matter what, you are a champion in our eyes. All right.
Thanks, bro.
You have scored. Your score is 11 out of 15. And let me tell you who you are in the club with, just so you understand who your peers are. Former guests of the show who have scored 11 out of 15. Speaking of Biggie, Mr. C, when we had him on the show, he scored 11 out of 15. DJ Mighty Mai, Kim Osorio from The Source, Lyrics Born, Elda Sensei, Chub Rock, Homeboy Sandman, 7L, J Live, Russell Peters, Psalm 1, Mega Ran, Recognize, Comedian to Hear More. I don't want you to feel like you're all alone on this island of 11 out of 15.
No, it's okay.
Pretty respectable.
I just had a good time. It was fun to hang out, man.
I appreciate that. So I have one more question for you. Now that you've done the show, who would you nominate for us to have on the show next? Skiz nominated you. So this is kind of like a pay it forward moment. Like, who would you nominate or challenge even to come on the show?
Good question. Who would be good?
And it helps if it's somebody that you know. Like, don't say Jay-Z. Like, we would love to get Jay-Z, but
Word. Have you had Pharoahe on?
We have not had Pharoahe on. We would love to have Pharoahe. Like, we should hit him up. But if you can, you know,
I nominate Pharoahe, and I can definitely assist in putting a good word in to get Pharoahe on the show. Now's a good time. You got to promo that new album, right? So,
I think so. I think we'd be doing him a favor. No, I'm just kidding. We'd be honored to have Pharoahe Monch. Yes, that is a great nomination. DJ Marquis says, "Don't say Cola." We might have Cola on the show. Cola, you know, we kind of already had Cola on the show.
Cola's more about energy, not really words, but.
It sounds. I can also like imagine like a very like, you know, elusive artist named Cola and like their manager like coming outside of the dressing room like, Cola got the energy tonight.
Well, sorry to cut you off, but Cola has the most hip hop story ever because I'll say it really quickly. So last year at the beginning of the pandemic, her owner was murdered. It's crazy. Little Fame and his wife found her because they were across the street from this episode, and Little Fame called me, was like, yo, you want this cat? So I literally feel like she's an honorary member of MOP, and she acts like that too because she jumps off the walls at like 3 a.m. and so that's the short version of the story because I don't want to take up time, but yeah, Cola
save it for the book and the biopic.
She's thug life. Yep.
Do we have time to take a few questions? Maybe a couple questions. All right, guys, drop them in there if you got them. We got Marco Polo here. Lamont asks, this seems pertinent, how many records do you own?
Okay, so how many crates are on these shelves? 1, 2, 3, 4. Say 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
I would say between what's in the closet and my other room here, about 40 crates.
40 crates. Yeah. That's.
I would have more, but I'm not a hoarder. I'm not like keep everything record guy. Like I actually need to get rid of a lot of stuff. I'd rather have. I'm very much a quality over quantity type of guy.
Are there records that you have like you've sampled it and you feel like you've kind of gotten the mileage out of it, so it's like time to set it like out to sea sort of thing? Or
no. I'm weird about that. If I sample something, it stays with me forever. It's a part of my life. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Some people are not like that. Like my brother DJ Premier, he's so funny because sometimes just a little bit of humble brag, but he'll give me records and I'll take them home and I'll call him and be like, dude, you used this for the Big Shook record, like do you want it back? Like it was a dope song. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm like, okay. So then I keep it because I'm like, damn, you use that, this should be in like a museum, so I'm gonna cherish it.
Right, because that's not only like, yeah, you've got a piece of his history then. Like, you know, he's giving you the tools that he used.
Yeah, I guess. And that's no shots if that's part of his but like, yeah, if you know, and there's stuff that I've made beats with that I don't own the record that I like actively search the record to have just because I like to own things that I sample. But there's just some things I can't afford to buy that I'm going to sample other sources for. So, and that's what it is. But
Digging
yeah.
in them digital crates, exactly.
Yep. But I feel like you have to earn that right. You got to start getting your fingers dusty, and then this is old man talk now. You don't have to do shit. Just do whatever the fuck you want. But my rules are, you know, I graduated to, you know, now because I've been digging for so long. Like whatever gets the job done. So.
Absolutely. We've got two questions that are kind of about this, but what year did you start making beats, and what was the first sampler you used? What was the first tool that you used to make beats?
Okay, the first tool I used, this is not the original one, but this is the machine, the MPC 2000 XL.
Ooh, the blue one. I had that one too.
Well, that's not my original. My original is actually in the my original MPC. Where is it? Oh, it's actually at Primo Studio because I was doing stuff over there, so I left it there so I didn't have to carry it. So it's the original gray one.
Right.
But I started on the XL. I just recently moved to this new world of the MPC Live.
Ah.
It's very different, and I'm still getting used to it. And I'm in a big project right now, actually for Akai, and so I'm forced to learn it, and it's been quite the journey.
Did you just make the leap over to computers? Were you straight MPC prior to the? Wow.
Dude, I'm new to the computer game, like a year and a half. I'm here now, and there's so many things about it that you're like, wow, like this is way faster. But then there's some things about the sound of everything that I miss in the old stuff. It's so push and pull with me. Like there's pros and cons to both sides. I think there's more pros in the new world though, just because of the efficiency, the speed, and
yeah.
But this is a conversation that could take 3 hours. Like there's so much new technology, but at the end of the day, I know that I made dope beats without all that shit, you know? And it actually, when you have less, your brain works more. And now I have literally everything I need, like infinite plugins. I've partnered with the greatest audio companies that have blessed me, and I have all these things, and sometimes I just look at it and nothing gets done because I'm just like, before it's just like the MPC, the turntables, and that was it. Sample some shit and shit got done, and you know, it was dusty and dirty, but I don't know, there's arguments for both sides.
Of course, and I think also that even though the technology and the advancements sort of raise the floor and make it easier for people to do things, I think the people who are really killing it and innovating are just going to have a higher ground to be able to flip and freak things on a even crazier level. So I don't know.
The best thing you can say about this, and this is not naming any names, but a lot of producers that I've loved over the years, or in general, I watch their progression with their machines. And sometimes when they switch machines, things change. I'm not saying it's bad, but they change. So my whole thing is, you know, I have a crew around me, Skiz, my boy Shiloh. I don't want any yes men around me. When I start DJ premiered a voicemail just now for you.
Amazing.
So my whole thing is that all that matters is the music. So I told Shy and the people I send beats to, I'm going to start making beats. If, you know, after obviously a learning curve, if shit ain't up to par or equal to what I'm doing, you need to tell me.
Right.
Because then I'm going to go back.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I don't care about learning fancy shit. I just want to make the best music. And that's the realest shit. Because I've heard producers switch over. I'm like, your shit sounded better on the other thing. Sometimes progression can stop you. Sometimes it can help you. It's just, you know, you gotta be honest with yourself, and that's the end of the day. But I'm confident that I'm gonna make this shit work for me. I made some good stuff with it so far. So
that's awesome. We can't wait to hear it. We have one more question I think we'll get into. Somebody in the chat dropped, you've done, you know, full albums with Ace, with Torae. Who's another MC that you would like to, who's maybe on your wish list, or somebody that you just would like to actually craft a whole album with?
That I haven't worked with. There's a lot of people, man. I would love to do a whole album with Pharoahe. Obviously, that would be great.
Well, listen, if you get him on the next episode of The Questions, I'll work that angle. You work him, you get him on the show, I'll have all the questions sort of lead towards a full album of Marco Polo.
We spoke about it. It's not like out of the question, but right now he's definitely in 13 mode, and he's also Pharoahe, so I'm sure there's like many album ideas in the tank. But you know, I'm all about letting things happen naturally. That's where I'm at with it. When I was younger, I was chasing rappers and pushing ideas, and now I kind of like to let things fall as they may. And usually the best music happens that way when everyone shows up and wants to be there type of situation. So. Yeah, but Pharoahe, that would be a great. That would be a great. I think that would be dope.
Totally. Well, before we let you go, is there anything that people should be on the lookout for? I know that, you know, you've got MarcoPoloBeats.com. You know, you obviously have your sample kits. You've got even classes, which I thought was really cool that you were offering on there. You know, what do you have coming up that people should know about?
I just dropped a beat tape called MP on the MP Volume 1, the beat tape, and it was my first release on my own label. I pressed the vinyl. There's literally like 13 copies left on my website. I'm very happy and I'm blessed. And I'm not repressing it. I did cassettes too and some t-shirts. So that, and it's on all digital streaming platforms, all new unreleased beats. So that's like the newest thing I dropped. But right now I'm in super sound design mode for new drum kits. So yeah, I have a lot of drum kits, Pad Thai Volume 1 through 6 and Brooklyn Story, which people seem to really enjoy. So yeah, me and Ace are slowly working on the next record. We had a convo the other day to get back in the lab shortly. We started it, not super deep into it yet, but it's underway, which is great. Me and Torae are working on a bunch of stuff. So yeah, the usuals, man. I got some other interesting things happening. I don't want to speak on them yet. I don't like talking about it till it happens, but yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of things that you already spoke about that, you know, we're excited for. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This was great.
Yeah,
This
man,
was
good
fun.
times. Yeah.
Love to chop it up with people who, you know, have contributed to the culture and are also super big fans of the culture. And it's evident that you are both. So
I
thank
appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm gonna help you get Pharoahe on here. Just hit me after this on the email or to remind me, and I'll hit him up.
Appreciate that. Thank you again, and be safe, and we'll see you soon. Marco Polo.
All right.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.